Right, welcome back. So Sunday the 23rd of August is when it all goes down. PSG against Bayern Munich. It is two giants of the modern game and it's set to be an absolutely cracking final. Kate here, still with you, with Roberto, Jamie, Julien Laurent joining us as well. Listen, PSG now, having watched that game, know who they will face. They've got a couple of days off before the final on Sunday. Just take us inside the camp right now. What will be happening? What will be the plan for the next couple of days?
So they watched the semi-final all together at the Myriad Hotel in Lisbon, where they privatized the whole building. And I think there will be a sense of, would have watched the same game as us. This Bayern team is beatable and we can create a lot of chances. I think Thomas Tuchel had already spoken to the players a little bit about the potential opponent in the final, whether Lyon, who they all know so well, but also Bayern Munich. He's done all his homework. He knows that team very well. He almost joined them before going to PSG. So there will be no secrets, I think, between Hansi Flick and Thomas Tuchel, between PSG and Bayern. But there will be a growing belief, I think, in the PSG squad that they can do something very special on Sunday. I
think there's a growing belief at this table that PSG can do something very special as well. What about the French media? Will they be ramping up the pressure now? Because as we know, yes, it's fantastic and it's been massively celebrated that they get to this point and finally get through semi-finals, now the final. If they don't win it on Sunday, is it all for nothing anyway?
It's still an improvement compared to where they've been before, ever. Quarterfinals, last 16 in the last 7-8 years, really. So semi-final was already very good. I think final is a step even better. Of course, there will be disappointment, but they will still see this as a progress for the team, for the club, for Thomas Tuchel as well, who will keep his job and maybe even get a new deal after on the back of this campaign in Europe. But of course, they want to go all the way. Once you get to that point, is to go and win it. But and in the French media, it would be very much. This is another France against Germany game. Is that rivalry that we've seen with the national team, for example, at the Euro 2016, at the World Cup 2014. Even if you go back to the World Cup 1982, in the semi-final, there's a big rivalry. There's a great partnership politically, socially between the two countries. But football-wise, there's a big rivalry there. And again, this has been a bit like a World Cup for club football. And I think the French media will really build it up as in this is the final of a club World Cup, if you want, between two giants and the two countries that, in a way, respect each other a lot, but are big rivals too in terms of football.
I'll tell you what else I find really interesting about this one as well is the fact that it's two teams where domestic dominance is absolutely expected as a minimum for both of them, and Champions League really is going to be the measuring stick for both of their campaigns.
You're right. I think it's 8 in a row for Bayern, 8 leagues in a row. I think it's 7 in 6 years for PSG because Monaco broke their dominance 3 years ago. But you're right, and I think they're currently the two best European sides anyway. I think in this competition, they've been the best, both of them, when they were all fully fit and all playing at their best. PSG really expect Keylor Navas to come back in goal. Marco Verratti played a little bit at the end of the semi-final yesterday. So you will have the best of the Bayern 11, the best of the PSG 11, and I think the team that will win this final will really deservedly be the best European side right now this season.
You're a PSG fan, right?
No, but I was wondering if you were going to mention it or not. Yes, I am.
You are? Yeah. How confident are you feeling?
I was really stressed yesterday for the semi-final. I'd be even more stressed on Sunday. I think it's a real 50-50 game. Yesterday, I thought 60-40. Seeing Bayern tonight, I think it's a pure 50-50. PSG have been wasteful in front of goal. We saw it against Atalanta. We saw it against Leipzig again. Neymar missed a lot of chances. Mbappe as well. But if they get clinical at the right time in that game, I don't think Bayern can beat them.
So our and your very good friend Rafa Honigstein, German football expert, is actually going to be joining us on Sunday for the final. We'd like to extend an invitation to you as well. Would you like to join Rafa, the Bayern fan, PSG fan? Do you want to watch it with him? How do you feel about that?
I would love to, yes. But one side of the table each, and then you can be in the middle. And that's fine.
Full kit.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah? Nice, like it. Okay, sounds good.
Well, Rafa wears socks with the full kit.
It's doubtful, isn't it? It's doubtful. Apparently he was spotted on TV elsewhere as well this morning. Still no socks. No sign of them.
It stays out all night.
Maybe.
Different shoes, though.
Let's talk about preparation now. We got, 3 days, is it, until Sunday? What are you expecting? Of course, PSG, they've had that additional day. How much of a factor is that, do you think, for Bayern Munich and for PSG, knowing that they've got 24 hours less or more, depending on who you are?
That is a huge factor in tournament football. An extra 24 hours makes a big difference, especially when you are in that age of 30 years old. We got 4 players that Bayern starting 11 are over 30. And it will play in someone's mind. But from now, it's just where the work starts. From tonight, they'll start recovering. Everyone is going to have a different regeneration technique. And then when the game arrives, it's a final. You're not allowed to enjoy a final unless you win it. So the extra day can play a big part in the preparation, but not in the final.
As a player, do you agree with that?
Yes, but if you're on the wrong side of that, you can't let that get into your head. I think it's something when you've got the extra day, I think your manager will really be mentioning that. You know, maybe you can get to your tactical side of your football or your game plan maybe a day earlier. So it's not just actually the rest and recovery, it's what you can actually do on the training pitch in terms of preparing for the game. So I think teams now don't just have 1 day recovery, it's almost 2 days, isn't it, recovery before you almost get back into training. And if that is the case, I mean, that only gives sort of, Bayern Munich 1 real day, maybe tactically, to come up with something against PSG. Because it's not a case of just letting your team go out and play. Even though Bayern Munich have played the same team tonight, it doesn't mean they haven't done something different. You know, we spotted things they did tonight that they haven't done before in terms of making those runs in behind to cause Lyon problems. So there'll be something with PSG and PSG for Bayern Munich, obviously. But I think for Bayern Munich, you'll make out that it's nothing. Of course you would. An extra day doesn't make any difference. A Champions League final, you're not going to, say, oh, it's tiredness or we couldn't quite match them physically, because it's the biggest, well, certainly the biggest game of your life, and a lot of players' instances in that game on Sunday. So PSG will be trying to play it up. That'll give them an advantage, and Bayern Munich will be trying to play it down. It's just the psychological effect that, what it could have, and managers, as I said, will be doing everything they can to put out the players.
I mean, there is a flip side, right, in terms of it's less time for you as a player to get in your own head about it, about what this, for a Neymar or for somebody like that, what this game means. Obviously, he gets the additional day, but for Bayern, they'll want this just as badly, and they have less time to kind of get themselves into that anxious state of mind of how much this matters.
Maybe, but I definitely think I'd rather have the extra days.
You would?
Rest. No, you would. I can understand what you're saying. Is the game will be on top of you before you even know if you're a Bayern Munich player. By the time you get up tomorrow, you feel like you're in sort of game mode and you're almost there. But no, I think it is a slight advantage. But as I said, I remember a cup final we played against Manchester United, and we were playing Europa League at the time, or UEFA. We played on the Thursday. I think they played on the Tuesday in the Champions League. Now listen, we won the final, but it was almost a game where you had to play with yourself. We were all having sort of B12 injections and thinking we've got to do as much as we can to get ready for this game. And it was in the back of your mind that you may struggle physically the longer the game went on. The big thing is maybe that if Bayern Munich got the first goal, the problem is sometimes if you concede the first goal in the game and you feel like they've got the advantage physically, it's how you're going to overcome that then, and almost second half come really into the game. So, listen, it's a slight advantage, but it's the Champions League final. I mean, whether that's going to stop Bayern Munich, I'm not too sure, mentally or physically.
Well, they've certainly proved themselves to be a strong side so far. It's a massive final that's set up for you. It's PSG against Bayern. It is in 4 days' time, Sunday, 23rd of August. This, of course, the prize that they are playing for, the big trophy, which will be available for them this weekend. We'll be back in a sec.